Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Furman Football Mondays, brought to you by Ingalls, Bon Secours, and BMW. I am Dan Scott, the voice of the Paladins, along with head coach Clay Hendrix, following a tough one-point loss in the mountains back on Saturday to Western Carolina, 43-42, and looking ahead to the final home game of this 2021 season coming up this Saturday here at Paladin Stadium against VMI. Clay Hendrix, good to see you again. I wish the circumstances were a little different, but it's always good to see you.
Well, it's good to see you. I mean, it's Monday, and we're well into getting ready to play VMI, so not much time to think about, what happened. You try to make adjustments and, fix things you didn't do well. Did a lot of really good things, but have a lot of things obviously got to do better and ultimately find out a way to score more points, and which we had our opportunity to do that, and then obviously got to get off the field, defensively. So, I told our team afterwards, we had a bunch of chances on both sides of the ball, and obviously in the special teams part. We missed a field goal, had a turn. Well, it wasn't a turnover, but we got credited with a turnover on the punt return. And, but like I said, we had a lot of opportunities to do it. But we did a lot of good things, and kids continue to fight to the very end. And they came in this morning. I saw them in the weight room, and they were going at it at 7 a.m. this morning. So I think we'll have a great week of practice, and they'll come ready to go this week.
It's one of the things we talked about at the end of the broadcast on Saturday with the disappointing loss, 3 in a row now. But the one thing we know about this group is that they are going to come back and they're going to work hard and they're going to practice hard and come out and give you their best effort this Saturday against VMI. That's really something that hasn't changed.
Well, I hadn't changed all year, and the preparation was really good. I got asked that question a lot the last 2 weeks after two tough losses, and we've come back, played well, given ourselves every opportunity to get a win, and just hadn't gotten it done.
Defense had some issues, and Western Carolina's offense is going to do that to people, we know. But in crunch time, you got two crucial stops in the last 5 minutes. While they had their issues, they took it away 4 times, and they got you 2 stops at the end when you needed it. And really, it's all you can ask for in a game like that, because that was a wild one.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we didn't get that done, the East Tennessee game here. So, there are a lot of really positive things to build on. I think just the lack of winning one-on-ones. We talk about the one-on-one aspect of it a lot, and we just didn't win hardly any, particularly on the defensive side of the ball. And, we've talked about third down, just having the ability to get off third down. I know they were well over 50% on third down, and might have even converted all the fourth downs. But, just got to find a way to make a play there and get off the field. The quarterback certainly hurt us running it, and weren't able to pressure him, and yet we let him hurt us, escaping, as a runner. And we knew he had those capabilities, and we'll see a similar style really the next 2 weeks. So there'll be a little bit of carryover, and I think anytime people do that to you, it creates some difficulties for you, and we just got to be better this week.
Let's take a look at some of the numbers from this past Saturday, and there was a lot of offense on both sides of the football. You see what Rogan Wells, their quarterback, did. You see what Dominic Roberto did, who, by the way, and we can officially announce it because it was released 5 minutes ago by the Southern Conference office, Dominic Roberto is your SoCon Offensive Player of the Week. 24 rushes, 196 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8.1 yards per carry. Losing effort, I understand that, but that's still a heck of an afternoon for that young man, or anybody, really.
Well, he had a really good day. He has stepped up nicely. Obviously not having Devin win has hurt us. We challenged Dom a while back, stepping up, knowing he had those kind of abilities. Everybody sees this big old guy and think he's a plugger. He's certainly not that, and had a really, really good day out there Saturday.
Take a look at some of the highlights from Saturday up in the mountains. Like here at Furman, it's just a beautiful setting for college football. And prior to this, the Paladins had won 5 straight in this series. And I think what we're going to see here, Clay, is just a series of touchdowns. And go back to, about a month ago when you really challenged your kids to recommit to the running game, and you rushed for, 316 yards in this one.
Yeah, Dan, I think we've played really pretty solidly up front all year. I think for us continuing to mix, I think we've got to be more productive in the pass game. We had a good number of explosion plays. A little bit unusual, they almost all came in the run game, if not all of them. And so we've got to get a little more production in the pass game because, again, it's the same old story. You're going to see bodies continue to creep closer and closer to the line of scrimmage, and you just have to have answers. And but we did a great job getting the safeties at receiver, and certainly our other backs did a good job. So it was a good day for the run game.
And especially when they knew you were going to run it, and you were able to create those opportunities anyway. Yeah,
I think other probably than the short yardage, and and really for us, the one we got stopped was really more of lack of execution. We had the look that we could have been okay if we'd have gotten the right guy, but we didn't do it, and that was one that hurt us.
Closing out the highlight package with a look at the interception. You will see that again coming up a little bit later on in the show. What was the locker room conversation like after that one was over?
Well, I think it was just simply that. I mean, I think maybe this week as much as any week we've had, I think it was everybody. Everybody had a chance to make a play. Mm-hmm. I say we could have even coached a little better, but both sides of the ball, offense, defense, and special teams. We make one more play, we win the football game, and again, certainly some key mistakes, but again, one lack for effort, physicality, all that's there. And again, I've said it. We've got good players. I mean, we've got our challenges, like I think every team does. But they come to work, and we'll come out there and work today. And I know we're getting better. I've said it, and I knew it'd start showing up a little bit offensively. It has, but we're still a bit of a work in progress.
This is Furman Football Monday, brought to you by Ingles, by Bon Secours, and by BMW. We will step aside for a break. When we come back, that Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Week, Dominic Roberto, will join us here in the hot seat. We'll talk to him about his game, his season, and go down Ingles aisle 5. All that just ahead. Stay with us.
When you look at a diamond, what do you see? A multifaceted stone of remarkable strength, formed under intense pressure to shine brighter than all the rest. Hard edges, clean lines, with a fire inside. When you look at a diamond, what do you see? Ingles, proud sponsor of Furman Athletics.
With a full range of BMW X vehicles available, no matter what adventure lies around the corner, there's an X for that. Take advantage of exceptional lease and finance offers today.
Staying healthy has never been more important. Regular exercise can help both prevent and fight illnesses. At the YMCA of Greenville, we are ready to help you and your family build your strength, endurance, flexibility, confidence, and immunity with personal training, group exercise classes, swim lessons, youth sports, and more. All from a clean, safe, and fun space. Join the Y today to protect your health.
A big bow box says a lot about a person. Like they have a mighty hunger, a powerful thirst, and great taste when it comes to pro football teams. Game day and beyond, rep your Carolina Panthers with an official team Big Bow Box.
Back on Furman Football Monday. High shot of campus as we welcome you back to the booth here inside Paladins Stadium. I'm Dan Scott, the voice of the Paladins. And it's time for us to do our regular player feature, and we just happen to have that Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Week just named a few minutes ago. Dominic Roberto, who rushed for 196 yards on 24 carries, 4 touchdowns, 8.1 yards per carry. Very, very nice afternoon. Dom, it's good to see you. I know how these things work, though. You would have traded a lot of that for 2 more points on the scoreboard, wouldn't you?
Yeah, many plays that I feel like I should have did a lot of things different. That 4th and 1, I want that one back. Another short 3rd down, should have came up with the catch.
Well, as I told you out in the main press area a little while ago, to me that's a good sign, because when you lose a tough game like that, the things that you tend to remember most are the things that did not go right, or the 1 or 2 things you could have done better, as opposed to all of the great things you did. Still doesn't take away from the day you had, though. That was a nice performance.
Thank you.
Obviously, the commitment has been to run the football, and Coach challenged the team a little over a month ago, and I think maybe challenged you individually a little over a month ago too, to step up your game a little bit, and that aspect of things offensively, it's gone pretty well.
Yes, sir. Obviously, I wasn't playing the best of my abilities in his eyes and my eyes. I just had to run the ball better and play harder. So.
What changed?
Just my mentality going into practice, putting 100% in, into every single rep, every single run, whether it's scout or, offense versus defense, period. Just playing harder and being a better teammate.
Well, obviously, we've seen the results, both in total with the entire running game, and then what you were able to do individually and as a team, rush for 316 yards on Saturday. It's been a tough stretch. Obviously, for this team, these last 3 weeks, 3 very close losses, 2 of them, of course, against teams that are fighting it out now for the conference championship, and then last week. And yet, after every one of these challenges, the team has come back. They've worked hard, practiced hard, and come out and given a great effort the next Saturday. Is there any reason to believe that won't be the case this week?
No, we're just going to come back and get back to work, turn the page, Next week, forget about last week. Have a short-term memory and just come out and work.
Is that a learned skill, something that you've had to develop in your young lifetime?
No, just kind of growing up like that. Started with my rec coaches in North Carolina. Just turn the page and keep moving.
Let's take a look at some highlights of Dominic Roberto. And I want to talk to you about this first one we're going to see, because we're going back to the ETSU game when you popped that 90-yarder running off tackle, which, by the way, was either the 2nd or 3rd longest rush in Furman football history, and is the longest in Paladins Stadium history. Okay. Yeah, and what I want to know is, at what juncture were you running out of gas and hoping that end zone was going to get closer and not further away?
When I hit about the opposite 30-yard line, I was gasping for air. I could hear the Citadel student section, and I was like, I know there's somebody behind me. Lord, get me to the end zone.
Yeah, I said ETSU was actually at the Citadel. Thank you for that correction. We're taking a look at some of the action that you had here against the Catamounts. A lot of power runs, and then there was, I think we're going to see this, a 35-yarder that you were able to break. Good blocking, and then you were able to break a couple of tackles.
Oh, yes, sir. O-line had a phenomenal day. The credit needs to go to them. They just had a great day blocking. The holes were huge, and I was just running through them.
4 touchdowns, and I think we're gonna see the last one here, diving across the goal line. But that's the way it works in a running game. You have to have the guys opening the holes, but then you have to have the ability to make yards after contact.
Yes, sir. Coach Wilcox talked to us this week about breaking more tackles, how we need to be those guys to break them and just make plays.
Did he talk to you about the game that he had up there in 2017?
No, but I watched it on my visit here, so
did you really?
I know what he did.
That's great. All right, are you ready to go down Ingles Aisle 5?
I believe so.
All right, we're going to play 5 questions with Dominic Roberto, the redshirt sophomore running back and reigning Southern Conference Offensive Player of the Week from Fayetteville, North Carolina. All right, question number 1. Who's the best player that you played against in high school?
Hendon Hooker, quarterback, went to Dudley. I believe he's in Tennessee now.
University of?
University of Tennessee, yes, sir.
Okay. That's pretty strong, playing against a Power 5 guy. Now, were you a two-way player in high school?
I was, but I mostly played linebacker.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually only carried the ball 30 times in high school, so.
Really?
Yes.
So you're well-rested.
I believe so.
Question number 2. Who's the most competitive guy in the running back room?
All of us. But if I had to name somebody, it'd probably be Devin Wynn. He's pretty competitive.
He's the guy that would fight you for the yards?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we got to hurry through this. Question number 3, what's your hidden talent? What are you good at that nobody knows about?
I think my Madden skills are pretty good.
Madden?
Madden, yes.
Okay, video games.
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure I'd call that a talent, but I'm a little older than him. Number 4, what's your dream job? If you could be anything in the world, what would it be?
Oh, play in the NFL.
Okay.
That's always been the dream.
All right. Can we take football out of it? Is there a dream job part B?
I always wanted to be a paleontologist.
Really?
Yeah,
See,
find dinosaurs.
You never know.
Dinosaurs.
You never know what you're going to hear on Ingalls Isle 5. I love it. A paleontologist.
Paleontologist.
Wow. Question number 5, and this is a standard. Every player gets this. Fayetteville, North Carolina, right? What's the best restaurant in Fayetteville? And it cannot be a chain. It's got to be the place the locals go.
I don't go out to eat much at home. So I'd say home. Like,
nice.
Home cooked meals are the best meals.
Okay.
So
can anybody show up there and get a home cooked meal?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
Just come bring some
friends.
friends.
The football crew, we're always traveling, always looking for places. Always looking for places to go eat. By the way, I found out something I did not know about this guy. I knew that he was a high school teammate of Matt Sochovka. I did not know you were an Army brat. So getting to spend X number of years at Furman in the same place for 4 or 5 years, that's got to be a new experience for you.
It's awesome. I don't have to make new friends every 4 years.
What'd you tell me? You moved 8 times?
8 times.
Yeah. Sounds like being a member of the media. That has been Dominic Roberto. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been our walk down Ingalls Isle 5. And Furman Football Mondays will continue. Clay Hendrix will rejoin us in just a moment. Stay with us.
When you look at a diamond, what do you see? A multifaceted stone of remarkable strength, formed under intense pressure to shine brighter than all the rest. Hard edges, clean lines, with a fire inside. When you look at a diamond, what do you see? Ingalls, proud sponsor of Furman Athletics.
Nachos, better with Pepsi.
Staying healthy has never been more important. Regular exercise can help both prevent and fight illnesses. At the YMCA of Greenville, we are ready to help you and your family build your strength, endurance, flexibility, confidence, and immunity with personal training, group exercise classes, swim lessons, youth sports, and more. All from a clean, safe, and fun space. Join the Y today to protect your health.
Spink's chicken tenders aren't just fast and fresh. They're crispier, crunchier, juicier, saucier, spicier, legendary-ier. Oh, so many options. One easy stop. Spink's, making life easier. Spink's drinks aren't just fast and fizzy. They're fruitier, chewier, bolder, creamier, slushier, bigger, refreshing-ier. Oh, so many options. One easy stop. Spink's, making life easier.
This is Mountain Dew. A rush of crisp and refreshing flavor. Delivering a bold citrus kick. Do the Dew.
Back for the final segment of Furman Football Monday, brought to you by Ingalls, Bon Secours, and BMW. I'm Dan Scott, the voice of the Paladins. Clay Hendrix is back in studio with us here. I think I told you this last week and maybe several weeks, but I love talking to your players. They all do such a great job, and you never know what you're going to find out. That's why I like this 5 questions thing. You never know what you're going to find out about them.
That's true. I stand at the door a lot of weeks and learn some things there while you're talking to them. But no, they're a special group. They really are, and as we say, they're tremendous representatives of our program and our school, and they got bright futures ahead of them.
Yeah, he said he wanted to, maybe always wanted to be a paleontologist and seek dinosaurs. He didn't mention that, okay, maybe those are on the coaching staff. He gave you guys a break there, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's go to the Bon Secours catch of the game, and it's going to be the second interception that the Paladins pulled off on Saturday, and it's the tip, the deflection, reeled in by Bryce McCormick. The fourth of the 4 turnovers. You got a linebacker coming up big in the tip drill.
Yeah, you know what? Bryce continues to get better, and I mean he's played really, really well for us. And he's a guy that's got a, we're on him all the time about adding weight, and being able to hold up in a lot of the games that we play, particularly in our league. But boy, he keeps showing up in a good way. He loves to play. Played for a pretty good guy, pretty good pal, Ingle Martin up there in Nashville, and I think continues to get better. So I think still a young guy, so it's got a bright future.
Hey, that's got to be the most encouraging thing about what we've seen from him. And Bryce Stanfield, who unfortunately was hurt last week, is you've got a number of veterans, but you got some young guys who have been playing very well for you this year.
Yeah, we do. Really, Dan, I think in our 2 deep on offense, there's only two seniors. And one of the things this week we got senior day. I think we'll have 12 or 13 guys, so don't lose a lot of guys. Certainly lose some guys that have been really good players for us. But there's a really good core nucleus guys. I think we've actually burned a year on 4 freshmen, 2 offensively and 2 defensively. So we've been able to redshirt the others. I think we can get them all redshirted. I don't know who's keeping up with all these numbers now between the COVID extra year, and it doesn't affect us as much just because we don't have the ways to extend their stay, like it seems like everybody else does. But now we got a really good core of young guys with some older guys.
How'd we come out of Saturday health-wise?
Pretty good. I think, we'll get Devin out there today and see. We just shut him down completely last week. Obviously losing Bryce Stanfield, lost him for the year. Mm-hmm. You could tell missing him Saturday. I thought he was a guy that could generate some pass rush and do some different things. And but I think far and above, we came out pretty good.
All right, take a look at the conference standings after play this week, and when the graphic pops up, you're going to see, I believe, that there are still 3 teams at the top with just 1 loss: ETSU, Mercer, and Chattanooga. VMI still holding on to hopes of sneaking in for a conference title after their loss this week at 4-2. Western Carolina has won 3 in a row. They're 3-3. Samford at 3-4. There you see the Paladins 2-4, sit at 1-5, and Wofford still winless in conference play. This has been a pretty, I don't know if impressive is the right word, but it's been an interesting run for your team, the way the schedule has set up, not only with going from 4 teams that like to run the ball from a power standpoint to what you saw against Western this past week, but also, except for Western, teams that are vying for a conference championship, of which you were one until just a couple of weeks ago.
Right. Yeah, it has. We've we've had a few things kind of line up against us a little bit, and but at the same time, I don't know. I think there's some positive play in the 3 spread teams here at the end, and at the end of the day, we just got to control what we do and how we prepare and go play. And we've played well enough to put ourselves in positions to win a bunch of games and to win a bunch of those close games against some really good teams, and we just got to make a couple more plays, and that's certainly our goal for this week.
As we turn our attention to the final home game on Saturday, let's start with the fact, and you touched on it briefly a minute ago, Senior Day. Guys who have put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this program. You said, 12 or 13 of them?
Yeah, I think that number's 12 or 13. And, in that group there's 6 guys. I guess you hear that term super senior. Kids are actually playing a true 5th year. We've got 6 guys who truly came back and are playing the 5th year. I think all but one of these guys maybe graduates in December. So, they're all getting ready to do great things in the world. I think that we got that going on. Certainly want to honor them for what they've done. in our program, really just turning things around and putting us back in the national picture, and they have dealt with a year of COVID, not to mention all the new legislation on top of that. They've had a lot of things thrown at them. Some challenges along the way, and just love how they've responded. Honoring Bobby Johnson, getting an opportunity to do that today with the FFPA, or this week with the FFPA, which is just something we wanted to get done this year, and we're really excited about that. It was also Hall of Fame weekend. We got a former player, Joel Bell, I think one of 3. I think this was actually the class from last year that's going in, so get a chance to honor Joel. I got to coach Joel 2 years, maybe his redshirt year and his freshman year. So we'll get a chance to honor him. So got a lot going on. And, we've had great, I think we've been leading the conference in attendance, and I hope we have a great crowd out here Saturday to honor a bunch of really good folks.
How was Joel to coach as an offensive lineman?
Well, I had him when he was young. I told somebody one of my biggest memories against a long time ago is 2006. We played Hofstra here in a September game, and Dan, it felt like it was 120 degrees. It was hot. I think the game went multiple overtimes, and what happened is we had a guy that had an allergic reaction to some medication. Never forget, John Kivett couldn't play, and he had some swelling, couldn't wear a helmet. And Joel got thrown there as a redshirt freshman. I think we ran 106 or 7 plays in the game. Ended up getting a great win in overtime, and that was, I think, the off-stream had Marcus Colston and had a number of NFL guys.
Right.
But I just remember him playing in that game, and he probably wasn't quite ready for that, but he played well. And then obviously went on and had a great career here, and has been off working on his PhD at Oxford. Has been spending most of his time in Israel. I hadn't caught up with him really in maybe it was summer, maybe last summer I had a chance to catch up with him. So I'm excited to get him back. I'm glad we're able to work it out. He could be here.
Right.
Because it wasn't real easy to get him here.
Well, expect Furman guys to be smart, but Oxford?
Well,
come on
he's
now.
working on his he'd have to tell you exactly what he's doing. And, Joel, family was from a family of missionaries, came to Spartan High. And even the recruiting process, I was talking to Tim Sorrells about it. Tim recruited him, and there were some interesting stories. He just really had no background in football. And he was a big guy, and he got really big.
Yeah. Went on and played in the CFL and successfully for a while, so it'd be good to get him back on campus. Let's shift quickly. We've got less than 2 minutes. Tell the tape of this week's matchup with VMI here at Paladin Stadium. Final home game for 2021, and take a look at some of the numbers. Very similar rushing-wise. You see what they like to do when it comes to throwing the football. And the one thing that you notice for VMI, it seems like they're never out of a game.
Yeah, they got Scott Wackenheim's done a great job there. Scott's an Air Force grad, good friend of mine, and I think they did a great job in the spring. Certainly had a great quarterback who I think is now at Maryland. The kid they're playing with now has been in that system 3 years. Had player of the year at receiver who's back, big physical receiver. They're a little unorthodox on defense. They do some things that sometimes you think, you can't do that and get away with it. But they, I thought I heard Chris Hatcher say, they line up and play man coverage, and if they get one thrown over their head, they line up and play man coverage the next play, and they just challenge you in a lot of ways. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and got off to a fast start. I think early in the year, and won a big overtime game, won a shootout 1-point game so they've won some close games, and went down to Mercer and just dominated them.
Right.
Got some turnovers early, so it'll certainly be a big challenge for us.
Yeah, they got down big to Samford, came roaring back to win that game. Were down big last week, almost came back to beat ETSU. So a team that's proven that really they're never out of a football game. What do you see as the keys for your team this week?
Well, I think continue offensively to be productive, and they're going to challenge us a little different way. So I think we got to be good in all areas offensively, and then defensively, again, a lot of similarities to what we saw last week. We just got to be better. It goes back. You hear me talk about those one-on-ones, and I think that's all over the field. But we got to be able to get off the field on third down, force them into those situations, and then be productive with it when we do get it. And so again, it'll be a fun week with stuff going on, and we'll get out here tonight and have our Monday night practice. And I'd be shocked if our kids don't have a great day out there today.
Well, That would be the expectation, as always. Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll just remind you quickly that the game broadcast Saturday, of course, on ESPN Plus, and also the radio broadcast will begin at 12:30 p.m. with the Pepsi countdown to kickoff. Kickoff will be right around 2:05. Final home game of 2021 Furman and VMI. That'll do it for us on this edition of Furman Football Monday, brought to you by BMW and Ingalls and Bon Secours. For Clay Hendrix, Byron App, and his crew, I'm Dan Scott, as always, saying God bless you, and so long, everybody.